Famcast Media, bitch.
Could you believe that this shit has happened yet again? Good morning, demons and demonesses. No, it's not really that often that I record this early in the morning. I just got off of work, and this came up on my feed. Now, this comes out of the state of Florida. Now, I spoke about the state of Florida with D-Rotten on From the Dungeon podcast, about how Governor DeSantis is, drunk off of Jesus juice. Well, turns out that the Florida Department of Education has updated their curriculum to teach the benefits of slavery. I will repeat that again, the benefits of slavery. Now, most people with common sense would be like, well, wait, there is no benefit to slavery. You're literally taking, a fellow human being and you're forcing them to do backbreaking labor. And for what? And they're not even getting paid for it. But I have the article right here, so I'm going to pull it up and read it for you. DeSantis says black people benefited from slavery by learning skills like being a blacksmith. Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida has said black people benefited from some of the skills they learned in slavery, and the students in the state will soon learn about the personal benefit in Florida's education curriculum. Florida's Department of Education on Wednesday approved a new curriculum for the state's African American Studies program in public schools, which instructs students on the personal benefit of slavery to black people. They're probably going to show that some of the folks that eventually parlayed, being a blacksmith into doing things later in life, DeSantis said at a press conference on Friday. The state's curriculum standards for the African American Studies course say students will learn how slaves developed skills which in some instances would be applied for their personal benefit. DeSantis noticed at the press conference that he did not play a role in the changes to Florida's curriculum, but also defended the curriculum change as a purely academic decision by the State Department of Education. If you have any questions about it, just ask the Department of Education. But these were scholars that put this together, DeSantis said. This is not anything that was done politically. The curriculum change follows the Stop Woke Act, which DeSantis signed into law in 2022 and aimed to ban the teachings of anything that made students in public schools feel shamed because of their race. The law was intended to push back against the supposed teaching of critical race theory, examining how America's history of racism and discrimination continues to impact the country today in public schools. Now, how ironic that this follows, the whole Stop Woke Act. Now, and this is what goes to show you about this whole anti-woke thing. Honestly, the more I hear about this whole anti-woke thing, we gotta be a fight against the woke mob and fight against this and that's the other. This is nothing more than racism wrapped up in a political ideology. Now think about it. Why the hell would you want to teach about the benefits of slavery? And then say that, black people didn't know anything about blacksmithing. Lad, have you ever looked at anything about African history? About African castles, African weapons? I'm pretty sure that, the Egyptians knew about blacksmithing a long time ago. I'm pretty sure there are many other civilizations. The civilization of Ghana, the kingdom of Mali, the kingdom of Songhai. All of these kingdoms, I'm pretty sure they all had blacksmithing skills. Here's another thing, Timbuktu. Timbuktu was a city in the Malian Empire, which was a center of learning, a center of education, and it was also a major trading hub. If they wanted to actually teach black history, wouldn't they have taught about that? But no, they want to talk about, slavery, and black people didn't have any skills until, we enslaved them and forced them to come to the United States and, forcefully convert them into our religion. And here's the sad thing is that I've met many black people over the years that say, well, Christianity was good because, when they taught the Bible to us, the Bible is what they were used to teach us how to read. And I'm like, you're telling me that black people didn't know how to read prior to Christianity? Also another thing about Timbuktu. Timbuktu is also home to an ancient library, and many of those manuscripts still exist today. Although some of them have went missing, some of them have been damaged due to time, but a lot of them have been preserved and, restored. Yet they expect me to believe that black people didn't know how to read and write prior to, enslavement. It's absolute fucking ridiculous. Now, Governor DeSantis is claiming that this was a decision made by scholars. To be honest with you, I call bullets to that. And even if there was scholars, I doubt there were any black scholars that would say, hey, I approve of this. How many of those scholars do you think were black? I guarantee you probably negative 55 of them. They probably didn't have any black people that made this decision in Florida. And this is what they want to teach the kids. I mean, that's the thing. They're worried about, the schools are trying to trans the kids. Motherfucker, you're trying to teach kids that slavery was cool and it was hip. And I'm like, what is this with religious conservatives always trying to bring slavery back? It's at the point where, Christianity isn't even trying to hide behind plausible deniability anymore. Back in the day when I was a teenager, I was in school, I've heard so many, conservative Christians say, oh, well, you should support the Republican Party because, Republicans freed the slaves and this and that and the third. And, Abraham Lincoln was a Republican and Frederick Douglass was a Republican. And now, after Juneteenth became a holiday, now these same Republicans that were using that plausible deniability are now saying, oh, well, slavery wasn't that bad and slavery was good and slavery taught black people how to read and black people how to do so many other things. Or, if slavery didn't exist, you wouldn't have black people in America. Kwame, you wouldn't even be in the United States if it wasn't for slavery. And this just goes to show you that the Christian religion was not meant for the benefit of black people. I mean, the whole argument that they're trying to make is, oh, well, black people wouldn't be able to do anything. They wouldn't have the skills or the knowledge if they weren't brought in through slavery. But my response to it is, black people wouldn't even be Christian if it wasn't for fucking slavery. I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. The name of the first slave ship that came to the United States was called the Good Ship Jesus. Go look it up. So doesn't it really surprise black people that, the slave ship was named Jesus, the slave master believed in Jesus, and now you believe in Jesus? This isn't our God. This isn't our religion. You want to know what Christianity is for black people? Christianity is nothing more than a tool to keep black people more servile. Because, God forbid that black people can think for themselves. God forbid that, black people, form their own thoughts, their own idea. God forbid that black people, thrive on their own. This is why I say, if you're black and you're a Christian, what you need to do is you need to look at the Bible, read it from cover to cover, be skeptical, and criticize every bit of it. Exactly what I did. And you want to know what I got out of it? I became an atheist. This religion is not for us. The people that practice this religion, they did not do it with the intention of us in mind. If you're black and you believe in Christianity, the best thing for you to do is to get the hell out. Do what I did. This isn't for us. You keep believing in this bullets, you're just going to end up in the same place as you always were. And it's another thing that I want to add. And here's another thing that I want to add, especially when it comes to, black folks in Christianity. When it comes to, inheritance of wealth, black people are literally at the bottom. But yet, for some reason, whenever Sunday comes around, we always have money to put in the collection plate every Sunday. These books aren't for us, and this religion isn't for us. And I don't know how many times that we have to see this happening before many of us get the message. I think the best way to put this is the quote by Butterfly McQueen. Now, for those that don't know who Butterfly McQueen is, she starred in the movie Gone with the Wind, and she also paved the way for, many black actors in Hollywood. And what Butterfly McQueen said is, just as my ancestors were free from slavery, I am now free from the slavery known as religion. Butterfly McQueen was a confirmed atheist, at a time where it was taboo for many black people to identify as atheists. Come to think of it, it was a taboo for pretty much anyone in the United States to identify as atheist. But that's pretty much all I have to say about this. And to be honest with you, I don't think this will be the last time we hear about another incident like this. Christians, they never cease to amaze me with the stupidity that comes out of their mouths. It's like I should start a series that say Christians say the darndest things. And believe me, I guarantee you there's probably going to be another religious figure or politician that's going to come out and try to justify or defend slavery in some sort of way. And when that happens, I will be sure to cover it. And I will continue to hammer it down. Black people, if you're out there and you're listening, leave. Just as our ancestors escaped the bondage of slavery, it's time for you to escape the bondage known as religion. Black people, I want to let you know you're smart. I want to let you know you're capable. I want to let you know that you have skills. And I want to let you know that you've accomplished all of that without any divine influence. You've did all that hard work yourself. And you don't need this fictional being to guide you through life. It's time to cut the chains. But I conclude, you guys stay safe, stay metal, hail Satan, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.